And then when Pebbles told me, hey, I think that you'll be better suited working with my husband. And I'm like, word? She said, yeah, hold on, let me call him real quick. She gets on the phone. Da, 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 da. She said, okay, they're waiting for you. So somebody rushes me right next door because their office buildings were right next door to each other.
Oh, you know who her
LA,
husband was?
huh?
You knew who her husband was. You knew
Yeah,
who.
I knew it was LA. So I
Okay.
was just like, all right, cool. So I walk in there and LA was meeting with his brother Bryant. And I'm sitting there and I play some songs for him. And then I played this song called Long Way to Travel, which was written by me and my brother Joe. And my brother Joe, I was terrified to play it, but I had to because he said, never play any of my tracks if I'm not around. But I had to play it because I knew what I was doing. Because I told LA, said, yeah, I mean, me and my brother, we're we're writing production team. We weren't, but
Yeah.
we had that one song wrote together. So as a result of that, LA flew my brother down the next day. And that's
Wow.
how we got started. Yeah, that's how we got started. And Perry Pebbles had us in a hotel for like 6 months while we was working out the details of our production deal and publishing deal stuff. And then we got to rolling. And matter of fact, the first artist that I worked with was Pebbles. That was the first artist I produced
So, so,
professionally.
so I guess just quickly then, when, and because I know how you attend the story, but when you got the call from Tim and you flew out, what did you tell Joe? What was he doing? Was he still living at home with your mom, or was he working? And was Joe doing?
Joe was at the time, he was at my mom's place off and on, right? Sometimes he would be at home, sometimes he'd be at my aunt's place. But when I called and told him, yo, bro, they about to fly you down. My brother was nervous because my brother is extremely terrified of planes. So I was like, bro, you got to get on the plane.
I'll take the
Come on, man, send
Greyhound.
your info. He says, why? What happened? I said, man, I played Long Way to Travel for him. He's like, what? So that's how we got started. That
Wow.
was it. And that happened around March 23rd in 1993.
The other question I had then
That's how we
is,
did it.
yeah, I mean, you have an amazing aunt that co-signed. I mean, that really took that risk.
Yep.
Um, when you told her that this was going on, how was her reaction? Yeah, Auntie Lynn.
You understand, my Auntie Lynn told me a long time before that, do whatever you want to do in life. She said, as long as you don't hurt yourself and you don't hurt anybody, um, your gifts will make room for you.
Wow.
And she gave me that garment bag to put my clothes in, and she handed me a Napoleon Hill book, Think and Grow Rich.
Wow.
And she said, I love you. And she said, do good. That was it. And then I got on the plane. And then when I went back, me and my brother went back the first time. When we first went back to Detroit, that was months later. We were going back to get the rest of our things. And that was it.
What happened to your MPC and the $10,000 worth of
My
equipment?
MP, oh, all of that. So that's what we went back to get. We went back and had all of our equipment shipped back. So
Okay.
we had our whole full individual setup set up in the hotel room
Wow.
on the beds. We would set them on the bed. That was our keyboard stand. And then when we would go out to get something to eat or whatever, we'd take everything apart, put it in the closet. But yeah, it was amazing.
Wow.
It
I
was
mean,
just amazing how that happened.
that seems to be amazing sort of destiny, faith that it's all happened, the timing
Yep.
of everything like that. Um, but for yourself, all that time before you got the call from Pebbles and Tim, were you still thinking producer, songwriter, and not artist? Or
I
what
was
was your
thinking it
vision?
all. It was
Okay, the
all.
Prince
I
kind
was
of.
I was I was going to do it all. It's just that when I once I got to Atlanta and Perry had suggested that I work with her husband, I was like, she also suggested a couple other things, which was she said, I think that you should focus primarily on songwriting and producing first and establish yourself that way. And then if you still want to do the artist thing, then you do it. So I followed her advice. She always gave great advice. And I listened to her because I was raised by women. So I tend to feel extremely comfortable around women and any advice is coming from women. And so I said, okay, I'll do that. And that's what I did. I focused on writing for other people. So I started writing and producing for other people, starting with her. And then she had a group called 4.0 that she was developing. I helped work on that. It was myself and Organized Noise was working on them as well. And then from there, then I did Tony Braxton. I was just working on different artists and then Boys to Men. And then by the time that happened, then I was just curious about, let me see if I'm gonna do a record.
Okay,
Like
no. So I guess just because you kind of jumped in quick, so because you've moved to Atlanta and LaFace was the sort of mecca of music out in the South, and they, most of what they put out was successful. For you, did you just see yourself like, when you're seeing these artists like the TLCs and stuff? Are you able to separate the celebrity stuff and just think, okay, I've got my job to do? How was that adjustment? Because you're coming from, you're just me. I don't I have no idea what it's like just coming in and seeing all these famous people, Pebbles, seeing the legendary
well,
L.A.
it
Reid. I
was a
mean,
different reaction. Right. It was okay. I'll tell you this. That's a great question, by the way. It's like because before I got into business, I had a list in my mind of people that I was going to meet, not in a can you listen to my demo type of fashion. I said there was a list of producers that I said I was going to meet eye to eye, man to man, on a very respectful level. And that was Prince, Teddy Riley, um, Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis, Dr. Dre, LA and Babyface, Quincy Jones. Well, I just so happened to meet LA first. I never worked with Babyface, ever. I've met him, I've been in his presence 2 times for maybe 5 minutes at the most. Spoke to him on the phone 1 time for about 3 minutes. But LA, I was around and we spent a lot of time together working on music and different projects, overseeing projects and things like that. And it was like with Pebbles, of course, I'm 21 years old. I've only seen this woman on TV and doing records. And when you meet her in person, it's like her vibe. She's like angelic and she's gorgeous, but she's just a beautiful spirit. She made it, quite honestly, she made it very easy to be around all of that.
wow.
Because she sounded like the way she spoke to me was like one of my aunts. So my mother's speaking to me. So I instantly felt safe and like, oh, okay, cool. And she's very hospitable and she just looked after us. And she was always teaching me things. So that was easy. Once I was around LA for the first time, he was super chill and he had a great sense of humor. So it wasn't like, I didn't have a shock because in my mind, prior to that, I never asked someone for an autograph because I always felt like, no, I'm going to be in that industry.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
let me not subject people to that. So it was normal to me. It was like when I was around those people, I felt like I was supposed to be at that time.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part of Halftime Chat. Please remember to subscribe, share, and comment. But most importantly, why don't you become a member of Halftime Chat? We've got amazing videos, amazing perks, and being able to support the channel. But anyway, thanks for watching. Take care.
I never participated in that category.
And somewhere in between
us, or even loving us, on which I didn't miss you with.
What was it like growing up?
She's still making an impact on 4 houses down.
I have a couple of pieces.
trying to get this one and that one.
That works for you, but just for me,
No, okay.
They understand what those boys do in the hospital.
Play it.
These guys, they all work together.
I mean, I love all different genres.